Welcome into another episode of Farming Simulator 25 with me, the midlife Simster. Thanks for joining me once again on Hutan Pantai. As we ended in the last episode, I pointed out it is time. We are finally going to put some rice back into the paddy field. However, it seems that I am very forgetful, and looking at our maps, we haven't put the second state of fertilizer on our oats, which is absolutely essential. So with that in mind, I'm going to do that very quickly and get on with that, because I do not want to forget to do that, because that will cost us massively in the long run. And then it'll finally be time to put some rice. And I don't know why I'm so excited about putting rice into a rice field, but I genuinely am. Can't explain it, don't know why, but I guess it's because it's a crop I've never done before on the older games. Ooh, my bad, sorry mate. My bad. Moan about the traffic, and yeah, that'll make it better. I'll put my lights on. Moan about the traffic, but yet then I do things like that. Yeah, I haven't obviously done that crop before, so maybe it's just why can't it find the field? That's interesting. Is it because the tool's not unfolded? Oh. How bizarre. I don't understand. Okay, I'm gonna go old school on this then. Proper old school. Could have done the hard way. I must be doing something wrong there. I have no idea what, but that's got to be on me rather than the game, I would imagine. Waste a bit of fertilizer whilst we're at it. And then hook back around. It should be good. Excellent. Okay. Nice easy field done there. Hopefully nothing coming from behind. Nip across into this field and get on with it. So, been a few days since see now this field has got it. How strange. Yeah, been a few days since the last recording. Just generally speaking, life, family, that sort of stuff, just kind of coming first, not getting in the way by any means, because they come first, so but I'm just to prioritise those things. For those of you who do watch any of my SnowRunner stuff, still dealing with trying to sell a house as well, so a lot of that going on. A couple of viewings today, second viewing, so really fingers crossed at this point for some good news at some point soon. Which is, I'll talk about that actually briefly, because I haven't talked about much in my sort of personal private life in this series, whereas in SnowRunner I talk quite openly about things. We're looking to buy a small piece of farmland, which would be really cool. I know absolutely nothing about farming, and we're not buying it for the purpose of farming. It isn't a farm and hasn't been a farm for a long time, but it comes with a good few acres. Only I think like 3.5 to 4 acres, so it's not still Clarkson's farm or anything like that, but it does have 2 separate sort of fields with a little bit of potential for doing a little bit of something. Whether we look to do anything with them, I don't know, in terms of a business, or we look to maybe do like an orchard, get some basic easy trees, some kind of hardier sort of stuff to do over in with the UK weather. There's little point in doing any sort of farming with it, because it's, we haven't got this, not the size is it, the same with, if we were looking to do any sort of grass work and stuff, we just, it's pointless, the amount of effort and financial outlay there is in that for such a small space. It just isn't worth it. But Very tempted to get some chickens. I know that much. Just, you know, maybe like sort of pushing into 10 maybe. Sort of hitting the double figures. Nothing crazy, just to start us off and make a nice little homemade run. So yeah, that's the plan. That is the plan. Right. Come on then. Oops. You've been in the shed for a year. You're going to need some fertilizer. I don't know why I said it like I had a slight Bristol accent then. Nope, not hooked up. So this is going to drop off, if I'm right. It'll drop off on that left-hand side as we look at it. Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Tractor over here. Excellent. Whoops. Oh, I keep pressing the wrong button there all the time. Let's get this loaded up with some fertilizer. Excellent. 250 litres of fertilizer. And then nip down the way and pick ourselves up some rice saplings or seedlings, however you wanna, whatever you wanna pronounce them as. I'm gonna leave those ones at the back because they're out the way already, and we'll just take one off the end here. How exciting. I'm such a child. Definitely now you've got enough in you. Nothing I can do. I can only empty you, so you're good. And we get to go planting. They're going to suggest, I don't think we need 3 headlands, 2 should be able to do it if we do it ourselves, which I'm going to for this one. Line her up, unfold the planter, turn on the planter, lower the planter, and off we go. Yeah, look at that. Excellent. Yeah, we'll just pretend it doesn't clip the water pipe. A bit of poetic license. And there we go. Planted our first rice. Excellent. Now I know what we should really do is start with the inner lines and then you finish off with the headlands. That is very much real world. We're not playing desperately realistic. Trying to keep it semi-realistic, but nothing too excessive. So if I remember, I will, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over not doing it that way. So just trying to think really what is different over the last couple of days. I'm quite far into the Daggerwin series now. I'm almost well, I say I'm not. It's not like I'm, you know, competing with Daggerwin with his almost 1 million subscribers. Oh, which also that reminds me, and much more importantly than talking about Daggerwin for the second, for those of you that if you have subscribed and you're coming back and you're returning, thank you. My 25 subscribers is I can't explain how much it, like, how much of a buzz I get just thinking, oh cool, there's, like, you know, a little handful of people who want to listen to this and you know, maybe watching the episodes. It's really humbling, really grateful. So thank you, genuinely thank you. It makes a massive difference to me mentally. It's awesome. So Daggerwin episodes, there's a few things he's now doing which I'm so annoyed at myself that I didn't do before I saw him do it. He's extended that far field down there, and I was thinking about that ages ago, so quite annoyed at myself that I didn't just get that done, because it clearly is the way to go. and just gives you that opportunity, creates so much more space out there, because it's just going to waste. And also, in the episode that I'm watching now, I think he's just got the horses, so he's put them over there. He's gotten rid of that big shed over there. Put the horse pasture. He's done a lot of work on that field. I'm not going to do that. The other thing he's done is he's bought up the land for the woodland, and he's kind of making his money that way. And it just, like I say, the wood stuff just doesn't seem to sit right with me, going back and forth, getting the amount of money that it's getting. But I don't know, maybe I'm just being silly and I need to get on with it. Otherwise, who knows how long this will ever take me to actually have a successful farm. I am very tempted, however. Let me just start this run and I will show you what one of my thoughts was, because I've got two offline games as it happens, because that's how obsessed with all of this gaming I am. I'm very tempted by this plot of land, which is 164,000. Now I know that's, you know, ridiculous me saying that, because we've only got 50,000 at the moment, but I am genuinely tempted by that. And I'll maybe, if I do line this up so I don't forget where I'm at, I'll just quickly show you why. And I stumbled across this in my offline game. Right, if I go into, how am I going to do this? Let's have a think. If I just go into the overhead, the flyover view. So, oh, that's that weird little bandstand, isn't it? Yeah, you're cool. You get a bandstand as well. There's a big open patch here, and it's only because in one of the offline games I decided to kind of go the scenic route back to the farm, and just drove past this and just thought, well, what could you do with that? Why is it there? There's got to be a reason for it. And then you think, well, okay, it's actually a real nice kind of proximity to the main farm. We could then set up certainly a production up there, which would then make sense. You would think, well, okay, let's put the sawmill up there, and then even maybe the carpentry stuff. So you're just bringing the wood straight off the land around you, which would be awesome. But then also, like Daggerman has done, and this is something that I really like that he tested this and has kind of lit the way with it, is you could, with the pastures, you could set up, I think, and I'm very tempted to do it, just putting the money in and just have a test run of it, but basically, if you started your pasture off here, so the animals, the feeding point is here, or somewhere along there, if you could just make it work with that flat surface, and then bring the fence in out, so you kind of bring the fence up there, and then the fence up this main road, and into that area, and back towards then the drop, you could have that as a big open pasture. I think that'd be quite cool, even if it is a little steep. I think I quite like the idea of the animals, especially if you get goats, I mean, and sheep. That would be awesome, just kind of roaming up in the hillside by here. Being from Wales, sheep on mountainous hillsides, pretty common around by me. So yeah, I'd love to do that, but obviously that's a lot of money and a little bit down the line. And then that production area here. So that's a kind of long-term plan, I think. I'm sort of toying with it. The rest of it, though, you look at it, the options around what we can do with the rest of the farm at the moment, that definitely needs to go. And we need to decide on what's going to happen with that. We've got the grain mill going here with our other productions of the tin there. I really want the bakery. I want the bread. But then I've got to look at the recipes and see how feasible that is. So that's a bit of food for thought. I'm very tempted to knock this on the head, this field, after the next harvest, and turn it into a standard crop, because you could extend it a little bit and just give yourself a little bit to play with there. Yeah, so that's an option. I'd definitely keep these two because they make sense. But then this one, exactly as Agawin's done, just extend this out massively. Massive extension on this field. There's your path there. So you kind of bring it along here, come down around this tree, leave the tree in as the feature and next to the rocks, hook back up and around this path and across. And you've even got all of this just going to waste, doing nothing, absolutely nothing, all the way down here. And then Bosch, pick it off in that little corner there. And you're almost giving yourself, when you look at it from a distance, I mean, you're almost doubling the size of the field. I think that has to be done. I think that, copycat or not, I think that's definitely the way to go with that field over there. No point obviously doing it at the moment, because it's got a crop in it, so that will have to be after we've harvested. But I think I'm pretty keen to get that done. So yeah, some long-term plans for midlife. We're doing pretty well at the moment financially as well. There's, you know, a nice little healthy bank balance. We've done some winter contracts, found a couple of the collectibles. Need to go after those. Again, barely done any of those, so could easily go after them. I know there's a couple now from watching obviously Daggerwin's series. I don't like using just like watching someone else get them and then going and getting them. I'd rather sort of make it happen naturally and let it kind of be organic in that sense, that I stumble across them, or that I simply just let enough time go by that I've forgotten that they were there, and then go, oh, I'd forgotten that was there, and grab it as and when it happens, sort of thing. In the episode of this series where I found the one that was in the garage, I was watching then a couple of episodes of Daggerwin's, and he went and found that one after I'd found it, or I'd recorded me finding it. So I don't know what made me think to go and have a look around there, because I haven't watched anyone else's series. The only one I've started watching is, I've done a couple of the Farmer Cop ones of just learning about some of the stuff and the mechanics of the game. But I've also done a bit of Mr. CDP where he's the undercover farming, what do you call it? Farming Simulator Bureau of Investigation. I don't know. That guy's a legend. Honestly, I could listen to him talk all day. And same with Dagwin, as it happened. Just like really just, I don't know. They calm my mind somehow. It's very strange, but yeah. I've no idea where it came from, so no idea how I kind of thought to go looking for that there and spotted it, but hey ho, it was £10,000 better off. So right, I think, oops, I hit the brake then. I think that's enough live watching of me doing this. We're going to need a bit more rice because we are very low on it, so I'm going to go and fill up, and then we'll have a little speed cut once I've finished the other two fields. There we are then, last strip coming up of the paddy field. Now I've got no idea how it works with the water and what I'm going to have to do to keep an eye on it. I don't know if we have to deal with the weeds on this. I haven't researched it, looked into it, anything. It's kind of on blind. I don't know why it's so patchy, like why there's a big patch just missing over there next to the pump. I mean, it looks like it's all been done. Bit strange, but how weird. Fertilized. Seemingly, other than randomly in the corners. All been seeded, so let's just see if we can. I don't know if you'll see it in the speed edit how abysmal I am at using those forks, which is a side story once this is sorted. Right, okay. I know we got to go and do the weeding on our oat fields. Let me just jump back before we crash. If we can't multitask, that looks like a relatively decent line. So we need to go and do our oat fields, weed them. Luckily, we purchased the weeder previously, so we can go and use that with the John Deere tractor with the thin tires. So we're going to chuck this now back in the garage. I did have a thought, and I tested it on my offline game. I was thinking, oh, I know what we could do is, because we don't use these. The planter and the seeder, the planter and the harvester for rice all through the year. It just sits there doing nothing. Much like, I suppose, the combine, really. But I thought, I know, we'll sell it. Get some dollar for it. Great. And then invest that elsewhere in the farm. And then just, although it's not, a cost-effective way of doing things, loan the harvester and planter stroke seeder as and when we needed to, because I figured those, because they're such unique machines, they'd be worth a pretty penny. Turns out they are not. Let's have a look here. So at the moment, harvester's worth 22,000, and then the planter seeder thingamajigger 5.5. So it just isn't worth getting rid of. It just is not worth getting rid of those. So what was I going to say then? Side note about this series, and I deliberately didn't do it, and I liked it in FS22, and I watched Daggerwing go and do it. We may as well just chuck that flour. Let's just have a look how much is in there at the moment. Where is she? Yeah, hardly any. So needs more flour. This doesn't need to necessarily be that pretty. This just needs to be picked up and dropped off. I will try and avoid getting the fork stuck in the ground, as per my usual skill set. Right, so let's drop the front forks off on here. So yeah, in Daggerwing series, in episode 2, he gets in the sale. Very, very lucky, because, and that's why it's always worth keeping an eye on the sale. He gets very lucky, and he gets the Merlo telehandler, which is the only telehandler which can also double up as a tractor, because it's got the 3-point linkage on the back. In my offline games, I buy it and I use it. It's amazing. It makes moving stuff around the farm so much easier. It's excellent for the smaller jobs that don't need as much, because it's still got 170 horsepower. So don't get me wrong, it ain't going to seed uphill very well, but it can do a lot of the jobs that this tractor does, or I use this tractor for. And I know it only cost us, 70 grand, because it's the Giant's download tractor. So it's not expensive at all. And now even to sell it, we're only going to get 53,000. Whereas if we were trying to buy the telehandler, I mean, we're looking at 150. So, it's financially, it doesn't make any sense to do it, but I really want it. Right, I'm going to have to put this fertilizer. I'm just going to put it back in the spreader for now, I think. And then we'll just... When I can resort this farm out at some point. Probably during the winter months, or switch it around again. Then I will, but for now, just for ease of storage. I mean, we've only got 19% in there. It's hardly anything, is it? Right. I don't know if anyone's an NFL fan. I am. For my sins. Speak about it quite a bit on SnowRunner. For my sins, I'm a New York Jets fan. I don't mind being a Jets fan normally. Most years, you just accept you're going to be abysmal. I need a weight on the front of this thing. But it's the hope that kills you, isn't it? It's the hope that gets you, always. And there's this hope this year that maybe they wouldn't be diabolically bad. And yeah, they have been just garbage. But I just had a notification pop up on the screen then that the New York Giants have released their quarterback, Daniel Jones, which is incredible. Absolute shocker of a bit of news there. So yeah, any NFL fans amongst you? Right, so let's just make sure this is working. Yes, perfect. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. So that should now remove all the medium and small weeds going forward. Let me see that big old chunk of weed by there on the left. And boop, gone. Beautiful. Yeah, this should sort out the weeds in this field, make sure we get a real nice yield, or the bonus yield from this one, which is key. I think I'll do this one myself. There's not much else to do, and it's still only 12:15 today on game time, so we've got plenty of time left in the day to go and do a few bits and bobs. But yeah, so long-term sort of goals. So the animals is definitely up there. Forestry is a consideration. Shorter term, I'd like to try and get the bakery if we can make some of the stuff that it's going to produce. I'm going to have to check how much of it is just eggs and flour and how much of it will need the milk, and then the cost of milk in comparison. So let's have a look. Okay. So I'll need to go up here and do this row. And while I was doing the rice fields, I did have a little thought to myself. And I said, well, I wonder if there's a plot of land that we could buy that... Whoops. Is that picking up enough of the weeds? Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if there's a plot of land that we could buy that we could put a massive rice paddy on. So, like, relatively square, primarily field, not much else to it. But we could use for that purpose. And then from there, we could get rid of the rice paddy fields up by the farm and use that space for the animals. And I quite like that idea. Especially when you look at that bigger second field on that kind of next level down. That and the one above opposite the rice seedling greenhouse, they just kind of seem perfect for animals, really, because it just feels like a bit more of a secure space that's attached to the farm. I don't know. But what it does then mean is you're going to have put a massive expense into putting a rice field, if you want a rice field, elsewhere. Right, come to that. No weeds. Superb. Hopefully we don't hit that cherry blossom. Lovely. Right. Don't you tip over, my friend. You gonna recognize this field this time? Yeah, okay. But then, is it because I've got the rice paddy there? So that's why it's losing its mind, maybe. I wonder. It's like it's registered before we've even asked it to here, so that's good. So we'll just get on with it and follow this track that it's set up for us, I guess. Just check. Yep. It's definitely removing the weeds, so that's what we like. Whilst we're doing this, I'll just go over a few things. I'm hoping this is the episode that our audio issues have been resolved, that I've put the relative, the required effects now onto the game that's coming through the sound system, separating everything out. So as I talk, the game should get quieter, and then as I stop talking, the game effects will get louder. So especially useful when you are talking over the harvesting or the like kind of noisier tractors like this one. Also put a compressor onto the game sound so that it should level out and never be too loud for you guys, because I know when you zoom in it can get really bad, but it's difficult to try and remember to zoom out and deal with that, because you kind of want to play the game in the angles that you need to play it, if that makes sense. So you want to see, sometimes you need to be zoomed in to see something efficiently and kind of correctly and get the idea of what you're looking at. And for me, I just then forget that, well, actually, you know, you need this to not be deafening or blowing anyone's ears out on the other end of the stream eventually. So hopefully it has been resolved, and a little bit around mic positioning as well. So last episode there was a few issues, and I'm pretty sure that was more to do with mic positioning and the way that I speak a lot of the time. So I've got to try and remember, I've really got to try and remember not to mutter as much. So like try my best to keep a permanent sort of tone and volume. Quite difficult to do, or certainly it feels quite difficult to do. Don't know why you wouldn't think it would be, but it does feel it. So yeah, hopefully, and that, you know, the feedback we had in episode, I think 3 was it. Hopefully that has all now come to fruition, and I'm so grateful, because I've done a lot of YouTube videos and stuff. No one's ever sort of complained about it, even though I know it's not been the best when I've listened back to it at times. So I'm still very, very grateful for that feedback, and I hope that this is now at a considerably better standard. It probably is a long way from still perfect, but I do hope that this is a much better kind of quality. Right, so nothing we can do about field 32, as we discovered in the last episode. Forgot about that one, so massive mistake on my part, so that's fine. Everything's had its 2 sets of fertilizer. That's the field I was talking about becoming an animal pen, or certainly even 2 animal pens. So that's very tempting. Nothing needs ploughing, nothing needs liming. We can't roll crops, we don't have a roller, although I suppose I could go and buy one, but it's a bit late for rolling now. I think you have to roll straight after the seed bed, or the seed goes in, so that's no good to us. What have we got coming up? So nothing to harvest from our crops. Nothing to plant that we have gotten use for, because all of our fields are now taken up. In terms of pricing and what's worth selling, I wouldn't imagine there's much. I mean, we could just get on with some things. I mean, we may as well take some of the produce over to the various places, just keep that ticking over. Get some money. So I think I'll do that. I think I'll load the truck up with a few bits and bobs, and then go and sell it and see what we can get. Okay, so here we are with our very precarious load. Again, keeping an eye out for any highways agency officers or farmer cop. Particularly when I get in trouble with the law. Whilst we transport this over, check the prices. Basically, there's not... slow down, no, slow down. No, whoa. Whoa. Oh my god. Oh, that was ace. Lordy lord. That was funny. Right, I think we'll keep it a nice easy 17 miles an hour. Annoy all the locals, but sorry guys. I need to try and get to town without tipping my ridiculous truck over. I tell you what, I can't wait for some mods to come out. It's gonna they're gonna make my life easier, or any auto loading trucks and trailers. I really enjoy that element of the game. Ironically, I do actually like the sort of forklift loading pallets and bales and things like that. I do really enjoy it because it actually appeals to my sort of OCD nature. But the result of it, I'm just not very good at it. I wish I was. I wish I was better. You watch Dad go into it and it's like art. Incredible. And here I am with this absolute mess. You'll see the back. I just couldn't be bothered doing any more. I couldn't bear the thought of trying to get any more of the rice saplings or whatever they call them in this game onto the back of the truck. So I've got 3 for now. At some point I'll bring out a bunch more over. I don't even know if I can sell them here, but I'll take them somewhere shortly. So we're just under £50,000 at the moment. So undo everything. Whoops! Oh, that's quite the collision. Okay, so let's see what we get. £33,000. Nice. Okay. So where can we sell those things? On the train or at the warehouse? Okay, so the warehouse, we haven't been to the warehouse yet, but it's just, is it there? Down there, so I've got to go all the way out of town and find my way down that way, but we're facing the wrong way. Okay. Sorry lady, oh, I'll just walk through my truck, that's fine. I'll just take these 3 down there for now, and just see what I'm, save going all the way back to the farm, collecting all the others, bring them back. If it is only a couple of £100, which I'm pretty sure that's what it works out as per pallet. You know, it's just one of those that when in the winter months when there's nothing else to do, there's no decent contracts kicking about, and I've got a bit of spare time, I can bring 10, 15 pallets over or whatever. At which point then you can look to get a couple of grand, can't you? Right, so let's get out of here. That feels like the sort of place. I know I can't really park there, but I'm gonna. Let me just go and have a little look. Sometimes when you play this game for a while, you just kind of get used to looking at things and just thinking, oh, that's the sort of place that they like to stick those things and hide them. Right, nothing obvious on the ground. Oh, okay. Looked like a nice little spot for one. Oh, hello, Tuck Tuck. Like matches my coat. Yeah. Cool. Right. Let's go. Whoa, steady on me. Oh no, I've just sped into the rock. The collisions on the rocks and stuff aren't quite as smooth as they probably should be. This game does need a little bit of work. You know, there's no doubt in that, on console especially. I know people are going crazy about the frames per second issue. With, I think, we're running at 30 as opposed to 60. It just, I don't know, there feels there's like a clear issue with some of the graphics. Some of the gameplay as well. Some of the collisions. The weird orbs and like lights when you load up the game each time, and the only way to get rid of them that I can see, what I found, is to go in as if I'm going to buy a new vehicle. So if I drop these off here, to here, there we go, 723. So I mean, what, less than £250 a pallet? Not really worth it, is it? There we are. So I think that was quite a productive episode. So listen, if you have enjoyed this episode, then please do give it a like and a subscribe so I can see what's working for everyone and anyone watching. If you've got any thoughts, then please feel free to leave them in the comments, and I promise I will respond to you. And until next time, be happy, stay safe, and we'll speak again soon. Take care.